welcome to my TD guide. Today I'll be showing you how to do TDs. I will not be showing you every single way, I'll just be showing you the basics and stuff that you really need to know mostly. This is my gear. I suggest something like this. I mean, you can replace this for D-Hide, that could be a glory. The best gloves you can use, you can use an obby shield, but I use dragon for more defense, crossbow, and then you want to have a helm that's melee wise, because you are going to be meleeing. I'd suggest either a god sword or a rapier, and either bring claws or a DDS for spec, but since it says both, I bring just an AGS just to smack them and get done with. You have got to have a dark light. If you do not have a dark light, these things will be incredibly hard to kill. It weakens them from their shield, and you want to weaken their shield so you can actually hit them. Now here's the route to get to them. You have to bring a sapphire lantern. I would suggest having more than one in your bank in case you die, so you'll lose it and then you can come back to your bank and get a new one. I'd also suggest a telly. So go through this little hole, and if you have not yet, you have to bring a pickaxe and you have to mine, like, there's like rubble here, and it will let you go straight through here. Once you're through that, you just keep going straight and you'll eventually get to the spot that you'll see in 1 minute. There's this spot right here, and you just jump over the rock, and then you'll enter the tunnel. Once you're at the tunnel, use your sapphire lantern on one, and it has to be close or else it won't work. Go into the chasm, I don't know how to say that, and go in. Also, in case you have not done the quest and you're just watching this guide to see them, you have to do While Gothic Sleeps. It's a Grandmaster quest, and it takes 270 quest points and a lot of other quests. And it is a complete bitch, but it's actually very worth it. I've killed like 200 TDs, because I just don't kill them that often. And I have gotten, I think, 3 claws, 1 shard, and 1 lump. And I've probably made 50 mil off them total. And they drop a lot of effigies also, and blue charms, which come in handy a lot for summoning. And I also think I forgot to mention this. If you would like to, bring a beast of burden, like a war tortoise. A yak would be better, but I don't have a yak. And a uni would be good too, but I just didn't put that in there because it's just going to be a quick guide. But put like a uni in there, use a yak if you can, and once you're out of food you can use that uni and last 10 times longer, because it actually does make you last really long. Alright, so you keep going straight along this tunnel, if you're just following where I'm going, and we are here. You'll see that there's a TD right there. You would not want that dude in your way, so you got to kill him first to get him out of the way. So pot up. I usually pray mage because that's like the most common attack for them. And you gotta lure him to a spot where you can get him easily at. I would lure him over here or something like that, like this. And is he coming? There we go. Alright, now that he's lured, just get him over here. See how when he stretches back, it means that he's switching an attack. Now that he has no melee on, you gotta use your dark light to weaken his shield. When you hit, that's his shield right there. When you hit him one time, it will weaken his shield, and he switched again to mage. When he leans back and like yells, that's when he's switching. Now that his shield's gone, you can keep attacking. Each time that you hit it's almost about a 300, like how I just said a 300. It's around 300, it will weaken him. You only have to weaken the shield one time. Sometimes it will come back up if you don't kill him fast enough, so you might have to weaken it twice in one kill. But usually it's one time and it will last a while, be off for a while. Some tips are, usually when they go back really fast and come right back up, it means that they're switching to melee. When they go back far like that, it means mage. Like, it depends on how long they lean back. If they lean back for a really long time, it's switching to mage. If it's really quick, it's melee. And if it's like in between that, it's usually range. This is not 100% every single time, but see, like that, I couldn't really tell. But usually it's that. and usually it's about 300 damage, and they'll switch prayers. Now that he is coming close to an end, he might get his shield back up soon, it will probably say. Now he's switching, and you switch to mage. These things are really easy once you get the hang of them and all that. But at first, I thought they were incredibly hard. I thought they were one of the hardest things I've probably ever killed in my life. And nobody taught me. I usually learn from YouTube guides, or I learn the switches by myself. And now that you have him dead, you can run over here really, really quick. See that there's a TD right there? Somebody already lured him, or he's just there, never mind. This is my favorite spot. I mean, there's plenty of spots, but I say this is the best for beginners. You start here, and there will be a TD right around that region. Let me see if I can find him for you really quick. There is no TD. Oh yeah, there is, sorry. Right there. You want to grab this TD, and that one came on loose, so you got to take him and lure him back like this. Now that he's back in that spot, you can run back over here, and this TD will be here now. Now that he's here, you want to go like this over here to get him lured. Now that he's lured, you can attack. Okay, now that he has range on and his shield's still up, you want to use your dark light. I weakened him because I did hit him. And then you do whatever and go back to range. Okay, some tips with the switches. I mean, at first I wouldn't worry about prey switches because they're not that, I mean, they're good and all, but they're not that needed. But I would just work on just getting noticing their prayers. And sometimes when he goes back to range, you see this little thorn right there? That's what he throws at you for range. Sometimes you can see it while he's throwing it back, or he's like getting back to throw it for switches, so you can tell that he's doing range then. See, like there's no thorn, so it's probably mage. See how it was mage? So that is also an instance of how you can tell. The drop rate on claws are like 1 in 250, but I think that's complete bull, because I get them like every 50 at max. I mean, I've gotten 3, and I've killed like 200 at best. But that also includes other drops too, in between. That's why I didn't get claws. And, I mean, if you guys learn these, you can get up to like 200 kills in inventory. I've seen 200. My friends and me usually average out to 100 if we bring brews, but I don't really care about brews. And there's blue charms. They drop a lot of those. And now that he is dead, you pretty much just wait till he spawns again, and I will start the video once he spawns. Okay, well, I decided not to, because I'd rather just make this guide quick. And I decided to kill this one instead. So pretty much you just kill him, and then you'll go back over there and kill him again. The other guy. This guy will spawn, like, over here. And that's when you want to go get him and lure him back over here. If you have overloads, I would bring brews, but otherwise I would bring an extreme attack or strength, because those would suck really bad here with brews. So, I mean, if you have overloads, I'd bring brews and all. I bring them occasionally. I just think it's kind of a waste. I mean, it's not that hard to get back here, and I'd rather just bring food. And I suggest killing these with curses. If you don't have curses, you probably shouldn't. And you'll notice that there's a TD over here that I just saw. You want to take him and lure him over here so he gets out of your way. So now that he can't attack me, I'll have him right there, and I'll just stay right here. I mean, if you have full inventory, I would just drop something to switch to your melee. Also, if you don't do 300 damage, but you're hitting non-stop zeros, sometimes they'll switch by themselves because you've took so many hits. That's why it's not always 300 damage, because sometimes you just keep hitting zeros and they think that they should switch. But usually it's around 300 damage. And you'll notice there's a TD right there. That's the one that I kill over here. So I have to lure him over here really quick. And once he's in the spot like that, just run back over and kill this one. Now, I would say just stay at one spot, but since it's a free world, like nobody's in this world right now with me, I mean, I guess just go to whatever spots you would like. There's a spot south over there, but I don't really know much about that spot. Like, I never even used it really, besides like one time, and I don't like it, so I thought I'd teach you the easier spot, which would be this one. And I would suggest going here. And before I kill this, I'd like to show you maybe if another switch would happen. Yeah, I think I'm going to kill him before that. Yeah. Oh, that, see? See how he leans back and there's no thorn? Usually means mage. Sometimes you can't see the thorn depending on your graphics. And I just realized that I was ranging. Um, yeah, so I would look out for that thorn, and if he leans back quick and then goes right back, it's melee. If he leans back for a long time, it's usually mage. And if you see the thorn, it's usually range. So I'd focus on that. At every 300 damage, about 300 damage, I would switch to your ranger melee. I would not advise using mage here. I mean, I've seen people do really good with it, but that's because they have max gear. So I would advise just using range and melee. And that's all to my guide, and I hope you guys learn off this guide, and hope you do well at TDs, and I hope you guys get some claws. So have fun